Hello, this is our future scanning project of transportation by Kelly Stevens and Whitney Southern.
Humans' first method of traveling from place to place was through methods such as walking, running, or swimming. Another example of early transportation is horseback. There are several differing opinions about the time frame of the domestication of horses and other livestock animals. However, most will agree that traveling on horseback began around 4000 BC based on teeth records, activities, historical writings, depictions, and the shifting of settlement patterns. According to archaeological findings, conclusions have been made that the first usage of wheeled vehicles such as wagons began in 3500 BC. Earliest examples of transportation would include boats as early as 7600 BC. In 1769, the Watt steam engine was invented. Boats were the first to utilize the steam engine as a mode of transportation. In 1620, Cornelius Drebbel invented the first navigable submarine. In 1776, the first military submarine was used in combat. In 1769, Nicholas Joseph Cugnot's attempt to adapt steam technology into a road car resulted in the invention of the first automobile. A steam-powered bicycle was developed in 1867 and was considered to be known as the world's first motorcycle. Carl Benz patented the first gasoline-powered automobile in 1886. In 1801, the first steam engine locomotive, known as the Puffing Devil, was invented by Richard Trevithick, but it wasn't until 1804 that a locomotive ran on iron rails. It wasn't until 1812 that the locomotive was used for commercial transportation of mass transportation. In 1903, Orville and Wilbur Wright completed the first official powered flight. In 1907, Paul Cornu had the first developed helicopter flight. According to Stephen Rice with the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, the current aviation industry is in a rather strong economic period, with many airlines showing significant profit. However, this could change with the growing idea of fully autonomous vehicles. In 2017, Garmin introduced their first autopilot mission. Driverless cars could greatly impact the airline industry. If people decide to use their personal transportation over flying, the demand for flights will decrease, therefore there will be fewer paying customers. A decrease in demand for flights could result in fewer flights being offered, which in turn may force airline companies to turn their focus to international or transcontinental flights. If airlines have to reduce flights, others may turn to driverless cars since the airlines will not have the ability to be as flexible. A reduction in the demand for flights could also result in a lack of need for pilots, flight attendants, stewardesses, and other employees. Another reason for people may choosing autonomous vehicles over flying is the packing of travel items. It is much easier for someone to pack everything they need into their vehicle rather than having to worry about the measurement and weight of the cargo they're flying. Another factor would be avoiding security and trying to navigate through an airport to reach your destination to board a flight. Another advantage of autonomous aircraft would be improving flight path control and could result in fewer weather-related delays. According to CNN business reports, moving to pilotless planes could save approximately $35 billion for aviation companies. They also projected that remote-controlled business planes could be in circulation by 2025. Furthermore, they projected that automated business jets, commercial aircraft, and helicopters could be fully automated by 2030. According to the Aircrew Labor in-cockpit automation system, they are trying to incorporate robotic machines into flying aircraft. In 2016, they used a robot machine to fly a plane in Manassas, Virginia. A pilot sent commands to the robot using an electronic tablet. Their goal is to fly aircraft completely without a human pilot on board. Current air traffic laws require the 4-eye rule, which requires 2 pilots to be aboard a plane at all times. This is done in case one pilot needs a break, another can take over, or in case of an emergency situation. One issue with fully autonomous vehicles of any kind would be the acceptance by the public. In a survey completed by CNN, 54% of people responded that they were unlikely to book a pilotless flight. One risk that could be detrimental in the area of autonomous vehicles would be the risk of cybersecurity and the possibility of hacking the vehicle's computer system. Currently, there are no fully autonomous vehicles on the roadway. However, there are several levels of automated processes such as lane keeping, automatic brakes, blind spot detection, cruise control, and avoiding sensors. General Motors and several other companies have stated that they are working towards a completely autonomous vehicle and are proposing the completion time would be within the next few years. General Motors has been working on developing robo-taxis for public transportation. One of the companies that is advancing towards this idea of autonomous vehicles is Tesla. However, they are still requiring people to be completely alert and aware of their surroundings. According to ZipRecruiter, these are the top 5 cities to be affected by self-driving vehicles: Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Detroit, Michigan, San Francisco, California, San Jose, California, and Ann Arbor, Michigan. Autonomous vehicles have the potential to change the workforce. Truck drivers, delivery drivers, buses, taxis, and many more occupations would be affected negatively if fully autonomous vehicles make their way onto the roads. Among workers affected by autonomous vehicles, truck drivers would be the most affected because they typically drive on highways and interstates, making it easier to automate the navigation. According to a report in 2017 from Goldman Sachs, the report predicted that 300,000 jobs could be eliminated due to fully autonomous vehicles coming onto the scene. Even though many jobs could be eliminated due to the autonomy of vehicles, many new jobs could become available. Some jobs would be created if autonomous cars became prevalent due to the increased need for manufacturers and vehicle maintenance technicians. According to a report from economist, Erica Goshen in 2018, there are many employment opportunities happening with autonomous vehicles. Companies that are marketing autonomous vehicles are hiring engineers, software and navigation developers, designers, and technicians. Although some jobs will be affected negatively, there are some positive effects that could come out of autonomous vehicles. For example, firefighters, emergency medical personnel, and technicians, and even mail carriers could all benefit from an autonomous vehicle system. A positive outcome of autonomous vehicles would be the improvement of safety while traveling. Some pros of a fully autonomous car would be fewer traffic incidents, a cleaner air with less pollution, and possibly a decrease in the cost of traveling. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in 2016, approximately 38,000 individuals were killed in car accidents. The most detrimental of those crashes were due to human error alone. This graph shows that there is potential for many high-paying jobs to come available with the advancing of autonomous vehicles. 1. Perception software engineers. 2. Strategic account manager. 3. Field service technicians. 4. Industrial engineers. 5. Customer success field representatives. 6. Field autonomy engineer. 7. Functional safety engineer. 8. Autonomous navigation software engineers. 9. Robotics engineers. 10. Electrical engineers. Autonomous vehicles would not have the potential of being distracted, under the influence of drugs or alcohol, or lethargic. This could result in a decrease of accidents while traveling. A major safety issue in driverless trains would be the requirement for a larger physical segregation from surroundings, such as fallen trees, debris, and rubbish, damage to infrastructure, and trespassers. Because unlike trains with conductors, there would be no driver on board to deter from these unexpected circumstances. Transportation uses most of the world's petroleum sources to function. Not only does this create numerous amounts of pollution, but also contributed to global warming through the discharge of carbon dioxide. Some environmental regulations have been made, but the number of traveling vehicles used daily offsets these regulations. One key advantage in the development of fully autonomous vehicles would be fuel efficiency. Another advantage would be lower transportation costs for individuals. Another possibility would be an expansion in access to rural regions. Another environmental factor pertaining to transportation is the amount of traffic congestion. Striving to reduce the amount of petroleum used can have many positive effects on the environment, such as improved air quality and a reduction in acid rain and smog.
Here's a short video on the simulation for remote-controlled cars.